Before we use a harness, we need to carry out some pre-user checks. These should be done before we use a harness every single time. We're going to start by laying it out nicely on the table on a nice flat surface where we can see all the components of the harness. We're then going to start with the snap hook. Now we're going to check the snap hook that it opens up, drops in, spring loaded in and locks off so that it cannot be released. If it's in good condition, no signs of wear or damage or rust, then we're going to move on to the lanyard. We run our hands down the lanyard all the way, checking for signs of damage, signs of wear, signs of chemical erosion, and then we're going to get to the actual shock absorber part of the lanyard. Once we get to this part, we're going to check again that it hasn't operated in any way, check that it's in good condition, check that the plastic outer coating is in good condition, and also we're going to check that the distance that this will pay out if you did fall is sufficient to prevent you from hitting the ground, ensuring that there's enough clearance, roughly half a metre, underneath you. Then we carry on down the lanyard, checking, going to the D-ring, checking that it's in good condition and there's no signs of wear or damage or rust on the D-ring, and then that leads us on to the harness itself. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go down one leg of the harness and back up again to the D-ring, down the other leg of the harness and back up again. And this is to ensure that we don't miss any part of the harness. So we're going to run our hand down the webbing all the way, checking the buckles as we go, that they're in good condition, no signs of damage, all the way down to the leg portion of the harness. This is usually in a different colour, so you can differentiate between the leg portion and the shoulder upper body portion. Paying particular attention to where the stitching is in different colours. This is a structural part of the harness and must be checked thoroughly to ensure that there's no damage. All the way down to the legs, checking as we go, feeling the webbing as we go, back up to the D-ring, and that is half of the harness done. We then continue that all the way down the other half of the harness, checking the D-rings, checking the buckles as we go, back up the other side. Once we've done that and we're happy with the condition of the harness, it's then ready for wearing. Once the harness has been checked, it's ready to be worn. It should be worn in such a way so that the chest straps are nice and even. The buckles are tight but not too tight, with the adjusting straps at an even level. So you've got a nice symmetrical harness. We just turn round. We're checking that the harness isn't twisted or turned in any way, which would be very uncomfortable for the wearer. And also, we probably need to get someone else to check that because it's very difficult to check that yourself. Check the D-ring is correct, in good condition, and that the harness is attached. If we turn back round again, this should be not too tight, so we should get a fist underneath that harness, also that you enable you to put your hands in the air and able to bend down comfortably. So it can be used very, very comfortably. Also, just as another check, we need to check that the rear strap goes along through the centre and not too high or too low. Once that's been checked and we're happy with that, someone else has checked our straps, this is ready to be worn safely.